This is the story of how your voice was stolen, and why silence became the only place you felt safe. Think back to the beginning, before the world taught you how to behave. Children are not born quiet, they are born as storms. They laugh with their whole bodies, they cry until the walls shake. They ask questions that make adults uncomfortable. They dance without music, they run without a destination. They wear their joy like a crown. Unapologetic, untamed, alive. But then the training begins. Not all at once, but in small cuts. A parent sighs when you get too excited. A teacher shushes you for asking why. A friend laughs when you share a dream. Someone says stop being so sensitive. Someone says boys don't cry. Someone says you are too much. A child doesn't understand social norms, but they understand pain, they understand shame. And when expression leads to punishment, survival instinct kicks in. If being loud hurts, I will be quiet. If showing feelings brings shame, I will hide them. If my joy annoys them, I will bury it. So the child begins to shrink. They start walking softer. They start whispering instead of speaking. They pause before laughing to check if it's allowed. They learn to read the room before they enter it. They become observers of their own life, and the world calls it maturity. The world says look how well behaved they are, but it wasn't discipline, it was damage. It was the moment you learned that being yourself was dangerous. And that silence was the only armor that worked. The transformation is slow. You don't wake up one day as an introvert. You are sculpted into one. Layer by layer the walls go up. You learn that vulnerability is a weapon others use against you. So you stop handing them ammunition. You become the listener not because you have nothing to say, but because speaking feels like walking into a trap. You become the watcher not because you don't want to participate, but because participation has always come with a price. You learn to live behind a glass wall. You can see them, but they can't touch you. People start labeling you shy, reserved, quiet, mysterious. They don't see the war happening behind your eyes. They don't see the thousands of sentences you swallowed. They don't see the grief of a child who just wanted to be heard. You build a mask, a polite smile that doesn't reach your eyes. A nod that says I agree even when you don't. A default answer of I'm fine whenever someone asks. The mask works. It keeps you safe. It keeps the conflict away, but it also keeps the love away. It keeps the connection away. And the tragedy is that you wear the mask for so long. You start to forget what your real face looks like. You start to believe the lie. You tell yourself, I just prefer being alone. And maybe you do now. But was it a preference or was it a necessity? Did you choose solitude? Or did solitude choose you when everyone else left? This is the architecture of the mask. It protects the house, but it locks the doors from the outside. No one can get in to hurt you. But no one can get in to hold you either. And inside that fortress, there is a version of you that is still screaming, still waiting, still hoping someone will knock on the door and say, I know you're in there. I know you're not just quiet. I know you're hurting. Let's talk about the label, introvert. Society uses it to describe a personality type, someone who gains energy from solitude, someone who prefers deep conversations over small talk. And for many, that is true, but for some of you listening right now, that label is a cover story. What if your introversion is actually a scar? What if your silence isn't a personality trait, but a trauma response? Think about the moments that shaped you. The times you were mocked for your enthusiasm, the times your tears were met with anger, the times your curiosity was met with annoyance. You didn't stop speaking because you ran out of words. You stopped speaking because you learned that words don't matter. Or worse, that words cause pain. You learned that your feelings were a burden to others. So you became low maintenance. You became the easy child. The friend who never complains. The partner who never needs anything. You convinced yourself that needing less makes you stronger. But independence born from neglect isn't strength, it's survival. It's the belief that no one will catch you if you fall. So you never let yourself lean. And now you look at extroverts. People who take up space without apologizing. People who speak without rehearsing every sentence. People who make mistakes and laugh about them. And a part of you feels envy, not because you want to be loud, but because you want to be free. You want that lightness, that ability to exist without constantly monitoring your own existence. But your nervous system remembers. It remembers the humiliation. It remembers the rejection. So even when you want to speak up, your throat tightens, your heart races, your mind goes blank. It's not shyness, it's a biological brake pedal, stopping you before you drive into danger again. And so the silence continues, not because you want it to, but because breaking it feels like breaking a bone. When the outer world becomes hostile, you retreat to the inner world, and what a world you have built. Because you couldn't express yourself outwardly, you expanded inwardly. You became a master of imagination, a creator of universes. You live in books because characters don't interrupt you. You live in music because melodies understand what words can't say. You live in art because it allows you to feel without explaining. Your mind became a sanctuary, a library of thoughts you never shared, a gallery of dreams you never chased. You have entire conversations in your head that are deeper than anything you say out loud. You have solved problems no one even knows exist. You observe details everyone else misses. The shift in a tone of voice, the flicker of sadness in a smile, the way the light hits the floor in the afternoon. You feel everything, intensely, deeply, overwhelmingly. And that is the paradox. On the outside you seem calm, detached, maybe even cold, but on the inside you are burning. You are drowning in empathy. You care so much it hurts, but you have nowhere to put that care. So it turns into anxiety. It turns into overthinking. It turns into late nights staring at the ceiling, replaying moments from 10 years ago, wondering what would have happened if you had just said the thing. This inner richness is your gift, but it is also your prison. Because a gift that isn't shared becomes a heavy weight. And you have been carrying this mountain alone for so long. You tell yourself no one would understand. You tell yourself it's too complicated to explain. So you stick to the script. I'm fine, just tired, long day. And the world accepts the lie because the lie is comfortable. But the child inside you, the one who built this inner world to survive, is starting to get lonely. There is a specific kind of loneliness that only the silence know. It isn't about being alone in a room. It's about being alone in a crowd. It's about sitting at a dinner table with people you love and feeling like you are watching them from behind a screen. You are there physically, but your spirit is hovering in the corner, waiting for permission to land. It's the ache of holding a story no one knows. It's the fatigue of translation, constantly translating your complex thoughts into simple sentences, so people don't look at you strangely. It's the exhaustion of performance, putting on the social mask, laughing at the jokes, making the small talk, while your battery drains faster and faster. And then comes the guilt. Because you want connection, you crave it. But when you get it, you want to run away. People get too close and your alarm bells ring. Intimacy feels intrusive. Questions feel like interrogations, so you push people away. And then you cry because they left. This push and pull creates a cycle of isolation. You convince yourself you are better off alone. People are draining, you say. People are disappointing, and maybe they are. But maybe you are just terrified. Terrified that if you let them in, they will see the mess. They will see the cracks in the armor. They will see the scared child hiding behind the calm adult. And they will leave anyway, so you reject them first. It gives you a sense of control. If I walk away, I can't be abandoned. If I stay silent, I can't be rejected. But this safety is cold. It keeps the pain out. But it keeps the warmth out too. And slowly, without noticing, you start to starve. Starve for touch. Starve for understanding. Starve for the feeling of being known. We need to talk about the cost. Because every survival strategy has a price tag. And you have been paying it in installments for years. The cost is your potential. How many ideas died in your throat because you were afraid to speak? How many relationships ended before they began because you wouldn't open up? How many adventures did you say no to because the unknown felt unsafe? The cost is your body, the tension in your shoulders, the grinding of your teeth at night, the stomach aches that doctors can't explain. The body keeps the score. It holds the energy of every silenced emotion, and eventually it screams. Anxiety attacks, depression, chronic fatigue. It's your body saying, I can't hold this anymore. The cost is your joy. You flattened your sadness so you wouldn't fall apart. But you cannot selectively numb emotions. When you numb the pain, you numb the joy too. So life becomes gray, flat, manageable but muted. You exist but you don't thrive. You function but you don't feel. And the highest cost of all is the loss of self. You spend so much time becoming who they wanted you to be, or becoming who you needed to be to survive, that you forgot who you actually are. If you strip away the fear, if you strip away the trauma, if you strip away the silence, what is left? Do you even know anymore? That question is terrifying. But it is also the beginning of the way out, because if the silence was learned, it can be unlearned. If the mask was built, it can be dismantled, not with a hammer, but with a gentle hand. Something is shifting in you. I know it because you are still listening. A part of you is tired of the hiding. A part of you is angry. Good. Hold on to that anger. It means you know you deserve more. It means the fighter in you is waking up. You are realizing that the danger has passed. You are not that helpless child anymore. The parents who silenced you may still be the same, but you are not. The teachers are gone. The bullies are ghosts. You are the adult now. You have the power to protect yourself, which means you also have the power to express yourself. It doesn't have to be a revolution. You don't have to become an extrovert overnight. You don't have to shout from the rooftops. It starts small. It starts with one honest sentence. It starts with saying no when you mean no. It starts with saying I am hurt instead of I am fine. It starts with showing someone one page of your inner world. You will be afraid. Your voice will shake. Your hands will tremble. That is okay. Do it shaking. Do it scared. Because every time you speak your truth, you are rewriting your history. You are telling your nervous system that it is safe to be seen. You are telling that inner child that you are here now. And you will not silence them anymore. You might lose people. Let them go. The people who only loved your silence were in love with your submission. They were not in love with you. You need to make space for the people who love your sound. The people who lean in when you speak. The people who wait for you to finish your thought. They exist. I promise you they exist. But they can't find you if you stay in the dark. So here we are, at the crossroads. You can go back to the safety of the shadows. You can keep the mask on. You can live a quiet, safe, invisible life. And no one will blame you. It is comfortable there. Or, you can take the risk. You can start building windows in your fortress. You can let a little light in. You can let a little of yourself out. Imagine who you could be if you weren't afraid. Imagine the art you could create. The love you could accept. The impact you could have. Your sensitivity is not a defect. It is a superpower. The world is loud and chaotic. It needs your depth. It needs your observation. It needs the wisdom you cultivated in the dark. You were not buried. You were planted. And the time spent in the dark was not wasted. It was growing roots, deep, strong, unshakable roots. And now it is time to break the surface. You don't need to roar to be heard. Truth has its own volume. A whisper can start a movement. A sentence can save a life. Your story, the one you have been hiding, might be the exact thing someone else needs to hear to survive. So speak. Even if your voice cracks, speak. Even if you don't have all the words, speak. Because you have been silent long enough, and the world is finally ready to listen. You are not just the quiet one. You are the deep one, the strong one, the one who survived the silence, and now you are the one who breaks it. Welcome back to the world. We missed you.